We could have our first 100-degree day as early as Tuesday. We are in the midst of a prolonged period of heat and humidity. This is a heat wave that we are in. We're going to stay in for a while. I have some good news and I have some bad news. And I know some people are commenting saying, in other words, summer. Yeah, of course. In other words, this is summer in Arkansas, exactly. But please remember the reason why I'm doing this video and we keep telling you about it, harping on it, is the fact that heat is the number one weather-related killer. It's not tornadoes, all right? A lot of people think that. No, heat is the number one weather-related killer. So please be careful out there. Heat advisories, we have extreme heat warnings in effect. Now, here's what I'm talking about, the good news and the bad news with this. The good news that I can tell you is that there's going to be, and I was talking about this on the air last week, about what we call mixing taking place. And all that means is the air is turning over. And during the afternoon, you get intense heating and the air mixes out. What that results in is drier air, less humidity. Okay, so the humidity values come down. The heat index temperature comes down a little bit during the afternoon. But at the same time, that means that the sun can efficiently heat the ground and the air surrounding the ground, right, just above the surface. So the trade-off is that fact that the actual air temperature, not the heat index, but the actual air temperature may reach 100 degrees or higher. We haven't done that yet this year. So that's what's possible this week. And I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, but I want to show you a live look. And live when I'm recording this, which is mid-afternoon on Sunday, you see those puffy fair weather cumulus clouds. And this is telling us a lot right now. It's telling us that high pressure is in place because those clouds are not building in the vertical that we have seen so much lately, meaning they're not growing all the way up into the atmosphere and resulting in showers and thunderstorms. They can't do that because a dome of high pressure, you get intense heating at the ground, and it can't rise because there's so much subsidence. There's a warm layer of air aloft, and that's just not able to happen. Okay, now on to the heart of my discussion. I want to talk about the dew point temperatures. The higher the number, the more uncomfortable the air, and you know that when it's that dark green, that's disrespectful. Mississippi River, southern Arkansas. I'm starting this out on Tuesday morning just to make this as, to show you as an example what's going to be happening in the days to come. When it gets down into the 50s and lower 60s, it's comfy to awesome, all right? Look what happens Tuesday afternoon and evening. Those dew point temperatures drop. Not for everybody, but you see they drop into the 50s. You think, oh, that's great. Well, sort of. Ingredients for 100-degree heat, you need strong high pressure, which I showed you. We have tons of sun and low soil moisture. And when you have low humidity, it will dry out your soil moisture. It'll lead to very dry conditions near the surface, and that leads to triple-digit heat. That's the possibility. That's what we're looking at here. It's Tuesday, 6 p.m., and probably before 6 p.m., you see some locations reaching 100 degrees. I think it's a little too high for Little Rock, but we'll see. But I think Tuesday could be the beginning of triple-digit heat. Now, that means that the heat index, the feels-like temperature, may come down just a little bit. But this is a computer model, not a forecast. This is a computer model showing the max heat index for a 24-hour period of time. And it stays up there around 109 to 110 all week long. But what I think the model is saying here, I mean, it's 109 or 110 all the way through before it goes off the charts the following week. But what I think that's showing us here is the fact that, well, while we may have that mixing occur, there may be a window of time before that happens for the heat index, maybe in the early afternoons, to reach that before they come down a little bit in the mid to late afternoon. So it's still extremely dangerous heat, and I would expect those heat advisories and extreme heat warnings to continue for at least portions of Arkansas. Now, this is a computer model, again, showing the potential for 100-degree heat. So 97, 99, be close on Monday, but look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm not quite certain about the dip here. I'm not buying that just yet. Trying to show some moisture coming in, but I would just assume that upper 90s to low 100s would be in the forecast and is in the forecast for at least the next 7 to 10 days. Okay? So I told you I would keep this as short and sweet as possible as we look at the summer in Arkansas. That at least it's not terribly hazy out there. So that's the big weather story over the next several days. We'll keep you updated with the next several days, next week or two. Please be careful. As I said, heat is the number one weather-related killer. We want to make sure you stay safe. So check on those who are more sensitive to the summertime heat or any heat. Please be extra careful. Heat exhaustion can happen just like that. Take frequent breaks. Try to schedule the things you need to do outdoors early in the day. So readjusting schedules. Stay hydrated with water and sports drinks, those sort of things. You know it. You lived in Arkansas. Just stay safe. That's the only thing I'm trying to say. A lot of people saying to me, Todd, this is just summer. Yep, I know. And in summer, things that are bad happen, even to people that we don't think it would happen to. Young, athletic people. You would think, oh, they can handle this heat. Well, most of them can. Some can't. And it has nothing to do, it's just our bodies telling us, you just listen to your body. That's it. You know when things aren't right. And you got to stay hydrated. If things aren't right, stop what you're doing. Get into some air-conditioned rooms and get hydrated. And if you have to, seek help. So we just want to make sure everybody stays healthy. Okay? Thank you so much for trusting the Arkansas Storm Team and KARK, and thank you for making us the number one choice for severe weather information.